Mothers, you guys are appreciated, honestly. We had a great Mother's Day yesterday, and me, my wife, my mom, my mother-in-law, and it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And I can tell you right now, all the mums, we appreciate you guys so much. We honor you. This is still, in my eyes, it's still Mother's Day now. So really, 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 happy Mother's Day. Honestly, mothers are, really without mothers, I don't know, where would be. Um, a lot of sacrifices are made, and you guys are definitely appreciated. There should be more than one Mother's Day, in my opinion. Every day is Mother's Day because what the sacrifices that you make is incredible. It's really, really amazing, and it makes us men even better in every single way. So happy Mother's Day for all those mothers and aspiring mothers, and even if you're not a mother, obviously your mom and moms in your family. Happy Mother's Day. So welcome guys to Morning Motivation. Excited for today's call. We're gonna get right into it. We have a lot to cover today. I really feel super super inspired for this call. It's been a really solid start to 2026. It's been a really good start to the year, and there's a lot of things that we have been doing in the background to really ensure that all of you have a phenomenal year. We have some announcements coming up. We do have an event next month. We're going to be confirming everything, dropping the flyer by probably tomorrow or Wednesday. We're going to drop the flyer. It will be next month. So just when the date is fully announced, I want you guys to take that time to be at this event. It's going to be the best event you've ever attended. I can assure you that right now. You know how we do in Wealth Makers. We really make sure that the events are of the highest excellence, and that's something that we pride ourselves in. So I will be announcing that. There's loads of other things. I've got a whole notepad of things here we're going to be working on. We've got a structurized system, which I'll be talking about a little bit later on. But yeah, we're going to be doing events every 90 days. We're going to go back to the Thursday weekly meetups in London. So every Thursday, I'll be back outside every Thursday with the team. Meetings every night, big events every 90 days, monthly Airbnb like retreats, or like you can call it like a boot camps where we get together, train mindset, social media marketing, TikTok marketing, Instagram marketing, how to use LinkedIn effectively, how to build a strong community, how to become a personal brand, right? That's something that I think a lot of us need to really be mindful of, is the importance of having a personal brand and the importance of branding yourself and creating a magnetic brand. Okay. There'll be also trading boot camps. We're going to be doing like physical in-person lock-ins, like proper locker room sessions, going through real trading psychology, trading mindset. So all these things we're going to be working on. Towards the end of the year, we're going to focus on doing a gala, like a celebration for the year, which is going to be incredible. So we're really excited, guys, about everything that's taking place. Just a little update as well. The Tuesday and Sunday calls are now going to be 8 p.m. UK time rather than 9. So because to accommodate other time zones, we're going to be doing 8 p.m. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Sunday. And again, you guys let me know if that works well for all of you. If you have any concerns about that, just drop me a message, drop me or Katrina a message. But from what we can see, 8 p.m. is pretty good for all time zones. Um, and yeah, we're pretty much good. The Thursday weekly events will be at 6:30 in London. So I'll be dropping the flyers this week about that. All right, let's get into the business. Let's get into the business. Get to the money. So, today's call. One thing I do like to do is I always like to train on things that have happened in the past week, because I like things that are fresh in my mind. I feel more inspired and more driven to speak about it because I've just experienced it, right? And that's how I like to train. I don't like to be too like, oh, let me structure this training with. I don't normally do a lot of like PowerPoint slides. I like to just be very transparent, very real, but at the same time very relatable. Because these are things, everything that I talk about on these calls, there are things that people are genuinely going through right now, right? And that I'm going through right now. Good things that are happening right now. So I want to talk about this trading is going to be called Audacity, Focus, and Legacy. Right? Put that in the chat. That's the title of the training. It's Audacity, Focus, and Legacy. Okay? Get your notepad and pens ready. We're about to go on a great journey. Right? So basically, this training was inspired by one of my mentors. Right? And my wife will know exactly who this person is. I've been talking about him, ranting and raving about him now. And when I find people inspiring, when I really find people who are inspiring, I lock in on that person and I learn everything about that person, right? I completely lock in. When I find someone that I truly want to be like, humility is not a personality trait. It's recognizing that you don't have something that somebody else has. And over the past, decade, that me and my wife have been running this incredible community, we've had the chance to rub shoulders with the very, very best mentors and coaches across the world. We've had the chance to be on the same stage as Grant Cardone. I'm not sure if you guys know who Grant Cardone is, but me and my wife was actually on the same stage. Like Grant Cardone spoke on stage. And by the way, Grant Cardone is the biggest real estate mogul across the world. He's a billionaire. Okay. Grant Cardone is his assets, total assets. If you watch his recent Vlad TV interview that he done, I mean, I don't even know. At this point, it's tens of billions that he's worth. At least tens of billions. I mean, he's really done it. Grant Cardone spoke on stage back in 2018 in London in front of 2,000 people, and my wife got on that stage, and I also got on that stage as well. Right after Grant spoke, literally, Grant came off stage, and I handshaked Grant Cardone and came on stage. So we've had the chance to rub shoulders with the very, very best. And I say that, by the great, I'm not taking credit for any of it. I'm just saying that we've had the chance to be in certain rooms and we've listened to like Ty Lopez, Russell Brand. We've listened to some of the greatest names. Les Brown, we've seen him on stage. Les Brown, we saw him in Vegas. We saw Bob Proctor in Dallas and also in London. We've seen illustrious entrepreneurs. We've had a chance to hear from billionaires. Me and my wife, we personally met someone called J.R. Riddinger. Rest in peace to him. He's sadly passed away about 5 years ago, but he was one of the biggest MLM CEOs. He ran a company, which was $1 billion network marketing company. We had a chance to meet with him in person. And humbling, we met him in Mayfair. Sadly passed away. But again, we've had the chance to be around some great people. And over the course of time, of course, you identify mentors and coaches who J.R. Riddinger, yeah, he's serious, man. Rest in peace to him. But we've had a chance to really rub shoulders, and that's why we're where we are. It's not because, we're just this good. It's because we've had the chance to be around people who are doing great things. So one of my mentors who I've been, building a relationship with, he lives in the UK, and he lives in just like south of London. Like he lives more like towards the south of London, like way past, like in a nice part of like just past like down south towards like the coastal areas. And I first came across him about probably a year ago. I would say about a year ago, and he closed this big deal, and everyone was talking about it, and I really started to lock in and say, okay, what does this person have that I would like to have? I started to look through his life story, and he's got loads of podcasts online and so on. And I had the chance to meet him for the first time last week at an event. I went to an event. I met with him, and it was a great conversation. We had all together. We spoke for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And I had some one-on-one time to ask him some questions and stuff, and it was pretty amazing because, one thing I've learned about life is when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and this is very important to understand. All of you right now who are pursuing your various journeys in life, you need a mentor. You need someone that can give you an example of what's possible. A mentor. And this is another one of my mentors, a gentleman called Mark Yarnell, who also is one of the legends in network marketing. He made like $40 million in network marketing, a legend. And he was in a company called New Skin, one of the very first distributors in that company called New Skin back in the late 80s. And Mark Yarnell said that a mentor is basically someone who is physically showing you what's possible. A mentor is not a perfect person. A mentor is not an angel. A mentor is not your savior. A mentor is not someone to be worshipped. A mentor is simply someone that is an example of what is possible. And we've had great mentors across the past decade, right? Plus, who in various stages of our life have given us an example of what is possible. I've seen mentors of mine took us on private jets. We've been on a private jet with our mentors in the past. We've been, and again, we've seen the £1 billion lifestyle. We've seen certain things. We've seen how people move in certain environments, and we've seen real money, to the point where it's not loud, it's not in your face, it's very understated, okay? If you look at all the biggest brands, all the biggest fashion brands in Harrods, most of them have no logos because it's not about flash, it's about understated wealth. And that's what being around these mentors have given me. I had a chance to meet another gentleman last year, an American guy, and called 19 Keys, another mentor of mine, who again has an incredible philosophy about life. So a lot of these mentors that we're talking about, these are people that have accomplished incredible things. And when I met this gentleman last week and we had a conversation, there's a couple of lessons I want to give you guys. If you would love to hear those lessons, I definitely want you to hear these lessons. Just to let you guys know, so you pay attention, this guy is worth 100 million. Okay, so just to let you know, because some of you are, who's this guy? Just to let you know, okay? I talk about money so you can pay attention, okay? So anyway, we had a conversation, and the first thing that strikes me about him, and this is something that I want to give you guys for free, okay, is your story is not your sentence. Your story is not the end, right? Your story, your struggles is not your destiny, okay? There are going to be situations in life where you have your back against the wall. And I'll be honest, in my journey and in my time, and I'm sure for most of you as well, that are, in your career, you're doing your thing, we all have had moments where we've had our back against the wall, right? Put a yes in the chat if you can agree. Put a yes in the chat. Have you ever had a moment where you've had your back against the wall, right? I've had moments. Katrina, my wife, has had moments. We've all had moments where things have been sticky. We've had moments where I was crying myself to sleep, where I was stressed, where I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know where things were going to go. I played football. And this is another reason why me and this guy connected so much, is me and this gentleman, this £100 million guy. And by the way, he's only 47 years old and he looks super young. He's in shape. He's got 3 kids, wife, incredible lifestyle, lives in an estate. He looks young. So it's not about, oh, he's old. No, he's young. He was also a failed footballer. He played for a team back in the late 90s, like 96, 97. He played for a team called Crystal Palace. And he was playing with a guy called, if you guys know Rio Ferdinand. Now, Rio Ferdinand is my favorite ever defender. Like Rio is like someone that when I meet Rio Ferdinand for the first time, I'm gonna freeze. I can't, like, I will probably, I won't cry, but I'll be like, Rio, if you guys know who Rio Ferdinand is, Rio is like the best, my favorite defender of all time. Like in terms of football, he played for Man United, obviously. He was our captain for like 6-7 years. World class, one of the best defenders of all time. So Rio was also playing with this gentleman that I'm talking about. And he played with him. What happened was he was playing football. He was okay. He was a decent player. But then what happened was he actually started to get into the academy. He started to get to the place where he was looking at professional football now. But what happened was he got himself so caught up in the lifestyle of being a footballer and wearing the tracksuit outside, the football tracksuit, and he's walking around. Yeah, I'm a footballer. He fell in love with the idea of being a footballer rather than actually doing the work to be a footballer. So now he's playing, he's doing his thing, and over time his peers kept on performing and he ended up slipping away. And then what happened was he ended up giving up on the sport because he realized that his mind wasn't there anymore. He had a bad injury, So he had to take some time away from football. Eventually, it got to the point where he was now pretty much out of football. So what he done is he kept on hanging around his friends who were still footballers. But because he wasn't earning the same money as them anymore, he had to borrow money. He borrowed £90,000 back in 1998. That's a lot of money, right? We're not talking about 2026. Borrowing 90 grand right now is okay, but borrowing 90 grand back in 1998, we're talking about, that's like 100K, that's like 250K now. So he borrowed that money, he started doing all these things, started buying all these stuff to keep up with the appearance, right? And it's a similar story to me, because I was also playing, I wasn't like professional level, but I was like semi-pro level at one point. I was really going for the next level. I was really had the potential to become a professional. Even now, I've still got skill. If you see me play football now, I'm not bad. I've still got it, and I ain't played football in years. But when I pick up a football, I still can do certain things. So I knew I could have made it. I definitely could have made it professional. I was good enough to make it professional. But again, I had attitude problems. I had a big problem. I had an anger issue. I had trauma from my childhood, and I used to blame, oh, my dad's not around, all these things I used to blame. Oh, my mum's not well. So I would blame all these things, and then now I was cooked mentally because I was making excuses for why I wasn't going to make it. And I've got friends that are now pros. You know, friends that played for Arsenal, people that played for big clubs, and I didn't make it because of that. So this gentleman had the same story, failed footballer. Then he started going into other things, and eventually, you know, he found this thing. So I want to tell you guys right now, as we're on step one, is do not underestimate that your story right now is where it is, but just know that it's not the end. So whatever you're facing right now in your life, whatever situation, whatever failures, whatever circumstances that you're going through that might seem stressful, that might seem demoralizing, that might seem sad, that might seem depressing, you have to understand that you can do it. As long as you have air in your lungs, you can get through it. Because remember, if you feel like you're rock bottom right now, guess what? There's only one direction to go if you're rock bottom, and that's up. It can only get better from here. And that's what happened to me. Many situations. I'm not going to go into all of them, but there's so many things that I had to encounter on my journey to where I am today. And the crazy thing about it is that where I am today is only the rock bottom of where I'm going to be now. So imagine, you might say, oh, you know, Derrick is doing this and doing that and whatever. That's great. But for me, and I'm grateful for where I am, but I'm telling you, right now, I'm at the very lowest of where I'm going to be 5 years from now. Okay? And that's the exciting thing about life, is that you can always look ahead and you always have something to look forward to. All right? So understand that everyone has a story. Okay? Some of you right now are dealing with certain situations. It could be family, it could be relationship issues, it could be money issues, you know, your children, whatever it is. Believe me, have faith that it's going to work out, and start to look on the bright side of life. Like, when you look outside of yourself and you look at the greater picture, the fact that you're here, you are healthy, you have 2 arms, 2 legs, a working body, a heart. My heart has been beating for 31 years consistently without stopping. That in itself is a blessing. When you think about that, then you realize that your problems may not be as tough or crazy, even though there might be really tough things. I'm not downplaying it, but I'm just saying, when you realize your heart has been beating every day for 31 years for me. How many days is that? That's like, I don't even know. That's like 3 million. I don't even know. 100,000 days. I don't even know how many days. I can't even count that far. But 31 years, from 1994 to today, my heart has been beating every day without stopping once. And I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm blessed, beautiful family, beautiful business. When you have that perspective, that's where you start to see you continue to move forward. Because it's funny, because even the other day, I was watching the video from the brother Anthony Joshua, who sadly lost two of his friends in a very horrific accident, and he was talking about how even he's very sad about his passing, but he feels like he has a duty now to continue the legacy that his brothers would have wanted him to continue. And you see his perspective. He was talking about how grateful he is to still be here and he has another chance. And yes, his life will never be the same. It's very traumatic. But then on the other side of it, he said, you know what? I'm now going to help their families. I'm going to pour more into people. You know, every single situation that we go through, we can actually see another side to it. It's okay, what is this going to show me? What will this actually propel me to do? Will it propel me to be a better person? Will it propel me to actually do more for people? Will it propel me to learn from the failures and move forward? Okay? And when it comes down to success and the philosophy of success, a lot of us need to really tap in with pivoting. We need to be able to pivot quickly. You know, I used to box a couple of years ago. Well, a couple of years ago, like 10 years ago. And at that time, this was after I stopped playing football. I went into working world, and then having a good time. You know, working, doing sales, doing recruitment jobs, and yeah, like it was great. It was fantastic. And then I started to box in 2016, and I started to really watch Floyd Mayweather, who is my favorite boxer. Say what you want about Muhammad Ali. I love Muhammad Ali, but I think Mayweather is my. Now I think Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. Actually, he is. But my favorite boxer of all time is Floyd. Like if you study Floyd's mindset, the man is unbelievable. I like to study winners. It doesn't matter what field they're in. I study people like Kevin Hart, people like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, people like Oprah Winfrey, winners. It doesn't matter what they're doing, because success is a language. I put it on my Instagram the other day. Success is a language. It's not about, oh, you have to study traders. Or, I don't just study network marketers or traders, or I study anyone who is winning at the high level, because the mindset is the same. You might think, oh, well, a boxer has a different mindset to a trader. Well, yeah, there's different businesses that you're in. Of course, being a boxer, you don't have to work out every day to be a good trader. But then, you don't have to be good at numbers to be a good boxer. So obviously it's different skill sets, but it's still the same mindset of winning. Winning is a language. It's a way of life. When I talk to people in different fields, I'm going to a networking event tonight with this new mentor of mine, and I'm gonna sit down with these millionaires, and we're gonna have conversation. He will say to me, "Oh yeah, I'm in e-commerce. What do you do?" "I'm a trader." It's two different things, but we're going to be able to still chop it up and have a great conversation, because we're both in the same boat. We're both winning. We're both winning as a language, right? So we have to learn how to pivot. If something happens in your life, like when I was boxing, they taught us how to pivot. So if I'm literally like this, and they taught us to pivot on one foot. So for example, if I'm boxing this way, and then the boxer moves, and then my opponent moves that way, I will not move this foot. I'll move this foot. I'll put this foot, the ball of my foot, I'll put it on the ground, and I'm pivoting like this. So every time the boxer moves, this foot is like this, and this foot is freely moving around. And that's how you pivot. In life, we have to have our foot on the ground and be able to move and maneuver and look at what's going on. You cannot be too scared to pivot. There will be moments where you might have to shift your strategy in trading a little bit. Like, you have to know how to trade your way. Yes, we have strategies that we teach. Yes, we have an incredible system of synergy. All those things make sense, but you have your own personality of trading. Okay? And I was talking to a good friend of mine, Ahmed, who's another mentor. I've got quite a few mentors, right? And he's done multiple 8 figures. He lives in London as well. Me and my wife, he's one of our biggest inspirations. I would probably say the greatest network marketer we've had in our generation in the UK. He's definitely the godfather of all that we've done in terms of like how we've built. He's the face of that, pretty much. And Ahmed told me the other day, we were talking back and forth over the weekend, and he sent me a 6-minute voice note. And in the voice note, he said to me, he's got one trading account that he uses for like more high risk stuff, like just to really let loose. And he has another account for strict compounding. So in life, you have to know how to pivot. You have to know what works for you, right? And you have to know what your personality wants to accomplish and what you feel is best for you. Of course, it has to work. It can't just be, oh, I want to try this because it looks good. You got to try it because it makes sense, right? Because it's working for you. Don't just try something because you want to do it. Try something and see if it works. And if it keeps on working, then keep on pushing. Now, here's the thing about what this gentleman taught me as well, is audacity creates opportunity. I'm going to give you guys a story. My mentor, the £100 million man, he had a meeting in 2018, maybe 19, with a guy called Boris Johnson. Now, if you're in the UK, you know who this guy is. Boris Johnson was our previous prime minister. He was the mayor of London in the early 2000s, and then he won the election. I think he had 1 or 2 terms as prime minister. He was the prime minister that we had during the pandemic. We're not going to go into the whole, I don't like to talk about politics, but just know that he is a very interesting character. So my mentor had a meeting with Boris Johnson in 10 Downing Street. In 10 Downing Street, which is basically the most prominent place in the UK, other than Buckingham Palace and probably Scotland Yard. You will put 10 Downing Street on that same category. And Harrods too. Harrods has to be in there. Harrods got to be in there. Harrods is one of the most prominent places in London for sure. Now, he had a meeting with Boris Johnson. Now, my mentor is trying to talk to Boris. The purpose of the meeting is to say, I want you to create more opportunities for underprivileged, like people that are underrepresented, right? People from ethnic backgrounds, etc. So he sat down with Boris Johnson and he started berating him inside of, you need to do this, you need to make it. And bear in mind, this is the guy, my guy's already made 100 M's. He's up. Like he has to have a meeting with Boris Johnson in 10 Downing Street, you've got to be somebody. You can't just be hey, my name is John Smith and I want to have a meeting. It's not going to happen. So he's already got a presence. He closes £1 billion deals. Come on, Boris, listen, mate, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not right. You took so much money out of the community. You done this, you done that, and he's really giving it to him. So he started shouting at him so much that his security took him out of the room because they're thinking this crazy black guy is just going crazy at, I think at the time he was a prime minister at the time. He was, yeah. So Boris comes back in the room and he goes, hey, Dean, thank you for that. I've heard that you've done quite well for yourself. But you know what, let me ask you a question. What have you done for the community? Okay, it seems like you love these guys so much. What have you done for the community? And he was like, whoa. He kind of got cooked because he thought, whoa, actually, I'm telling you to do this, but I need to do something for myself. And that's how he created his own community and now he's doing great things for people. But the purpose of that story is audacity creates opportunity. You've got to be audacious enough not to be rude. He wasn't rude to the guy. He was just, he was a bit passionate. But in life, you have to treat your goal with the same energy. You've got to be audacious enough to ask of yourself and of people what can be done what can we do to create opportunity? If you don't go, if you feel, why can't you DM someone on Instagram with 1 million followers? Oh, they won't respond. That's why it will never happen. Because you believe it's not. I DM people all the time that have 1 million followers, 2 million, and some of them don't respond, some of them do respond. Because if I can get one person with 1 million followers into the Wealth Makers community, can you imagine how crazy that would be? All it takes is one influencer that has 2-3 million followers to come into the community. We'll have a big event next month in one of the most prominent buildings in London. When they see that room, it's over. You can't deny. It's happening. Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy's coming to your event. Oh, I'm going to be there. Can you imagine? At this point, I can make one or two. I'm probably one or two phone calls away from most influencers in the UK. Like, I'm saying that humbly. I've got quite a few connections. If I wanted to call and get Auntie Joshua into the room, it might cost some money, but I can get him in. I can make one or two phone calls, and maybe three phone calls, and we can get his services. We can get people in the room. It's not an issue. But that's the thing, is why don't you believe you can be the same? You can do it. You can actually be audacious enough to create opportunity. Why can't you go on Instagram right now and DM 50 people today about this community, about wealth makers? Hey, do you know? Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Listen, well, we've actually got an incredible community. We have a trader called Synergy who sends out 25 trades a day. Listen, I'm telling you right now, we have people making money. Go into our group chat. You see the results. Why aren't you posting on your story? I look at some of your stories. I don't see no results on there. Why? Post results. Hey guys, here are some of the results from the team this week. Post the testimonials. We put it in the chat, not for you just to look at it and say, wow. It's for you to say, you know what? I want to take this information and put it on social media. So we can actually inspire people and show them, be audacious. I stopped caring about the opinions of other people a long time ago. Now, of course, as long as you're like, I'm respectful, I'm not arrogant, I'm not rude out on social media, I don't treat people bad, I don't look down on people, nothing like that. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is, I don't care about the opinions. As in, like, if I'm doing something and I'm passionate about it, we're gonna get it done. And I don't care if I look corny doing it. Oh, he's always on social media. No, I love it. I love promoting Forex. I love promoting lifestyle and my family and my wonderful community. I am proud, loud and proud about you guys. My biggest flex is not the cars, the houses, the holidays. The biggest flex is you guys. That's the biggest flex. The biggest flex is the team winning. That's the flex. You know, you want to know what the flex is? The flex is the team winning. If you remember that film called Coming to America, 1988 with Eddie Murphy. And he's walking through the city, and then he has this jacket with all the gold stuff in there, the gold toothbrushes and stuff. You see, if I'd done that right now, I would have all the results of the team, pictures of the result, little small pictures of the results. And I would open my jacket and you would just see results. Blues, blues, blues. Gold, 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 gold. Wins, 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 wins. That's what my flex is, right? If you look at all the biggest influencers, we don't talk about us. We talk about the community. We talk about who we're working with. That's the most exciting thing, because no man is an island. Everyone that's successful has a team behind them who are with them. So be audacious, right? Be audacious. Now, here's some practical things you can do today to ensure that you be audacious and stop caring about what people say about you. I'm telling you, whether it's friends, family, whoever it is, if you believe in it, obviously it has to be done with wisdom. Sometimes people will tell you something's wrong and maybe they're right. But if you do something with the right intention and you have thought behind it and you're aligned with God, with your higher power, you're aligned with your true self, and you're in this flow, you're in the zone, I'm telling you right now, you're going to win. And don't let people, especially people who are miserable, misery loves company, and the people that are considered haters, you will never find someone better than you hating on you. Whew, we could end the call right there. Now, the thing about this whole hater, I don't call it haters, I just call it a confused admirer. Because most of these people that say that, look at this guy, they're just confused admirers. Half of the haters we talk about, these are people that watch your story every day. They make fake accounts and look at your stories. Oh, look at them. Man. Don't mind them. If you don't have people that are like that, you're not doing hard enough. You're not going hard enough. I'm not saying we attract it to our life. I'm just saying that's part of the game. But because of what they're saying about you, you think, oh, I've got to... No. That's one of the things. And you see, that is what breeds imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is where you walk into a room of high-value people and you believe you don't belong there. How dare you? Do you know who you are? You're God's highest form of creation, which means that you have the power to be in any room you want and to dominate that room. You don't have to be the loudest in the room, but you can be someone that has a presence about you that people would want to be around you. And stop having imposter syndrome. Listen, I used to have it because I come from where I come from, and so when I'm in certain rooms and I'm in, I'm on jets, or I'm in certain locations, and I'm like, whoa, this is different from what I'm used to. Over the years, I had to grow and realize that this is where I am now. This is where I am today. This is where right now where I am, and I'm going to own this. I'm gonna own where I am. We gotta stop thinking that people are better than us. No one's better than you. It's just that they may have done something more significant. They may have worked harder than you. And don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 12, because that person, you don't know what they've had to go through to get to where they are. And I've never been an envious person. I got friends in our industry that have made $1 million a year, $2 million a year, $5 million a year. And I celebrate every single one of them, because it doesn't matter how close I am to them, as long as I know that they're winning. And I've got friends right now that have done it, 7 figures in the past year. They're in Dubai, buying Lambos, buying houses, buying villas. I love it. I love to see it. I don't have an envious or jealous bone in my body. Maybe because I'm winning too. So I'm not missing out on anything, because I've earned my stripes. But at the same time, people might feel resentment. If you feel resentment towards someone, it's either because you have unforgiveness towards them, or you might feel like, oh, well, I deserve what they have. No, everyone has their journey. And as long as you're working hard to truly get to where you want to get to, you shouldn't be worried about them and concerned about them. Focus on you and your community. Focus on you and your team. Remember, your community, your team doesn't know who that person is, or that hater, or that person that you're envious about, or whatever. Focus on what you need to do. This day today, right? The 16th of March, we have 1 month before our big event. You need to be on point. You need to be networking. Start networking. Let people know from today. Guys, we have an event next month. Don't worry, the date will come out. It'll be like mid next month, right? Just tell them. Event. Let them know. And this is going to be the start of something special. Attend networking events. Go on social media and start posting, right? Create content around what you do and start doing ads. I want to start teaching about ads. You can go onto Instagram and you can start doing ads, £5 a day, and you can get reach. This is how people are doing it, ads. Because you may feel like, well, Derrick, I don't have reach. Well, I'm going to teach you guys ads. Who would like to know about ads? Put a 1 in the chat. I could be a preacher. Yes, I am a preacher. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know about ads. We're going to do a special, me and my wife will do a special social media call. And we're going to show you guys how to grow, how to scale. Don't worry about a thing. We got you guys covered. Believe me, we're about to go on a generational run. What we're about to do, the Wealth Makers brand will be published. It will be on every single person's Explore page. This brand will be everywhere, right? This year, we're going to have 1,000 people event, just Wealth Makers. We're going to have 1,000 people event in this year, right? We're going to have a black tie gala, right? Fully luxury, because we believe, right? You think there were people that were doubting me, that were telling me, oh, you ain't going to do this and that. People talking behind my back. I don't care. I know what's going to happen. And you've got to embrace that sometimes. And it might motivate. It motivates me for sure. So don't worry about that. Don't have imposter syndrome. Go realize that, okay, let me just focus on what I want to focus on, right? Let go of the opinions. Whether you're doing bad or doing good, someone's going to talk about you anyway. That's what Floyd said. Floyd Mayweather is an undefeated boxer, 50-0, which means he's the only, there's only one other fighter that I know, no, 2 other fighters, Andre Ward and Joe Calzaghe, that retired undefeated. But Floyd was like the greatest. To be considered the greatest of all time, or in that top 5 and be undefeated. And they said to him, oh yeah, well, Floyd's the greatest, but he picks his fights. He picks to fight this person because he knows he will beat them. Or he picks this fighter when he believes that he will beat them. Or he picked Manny Pacquiao in 2016 or 2015 after he had retired or after he got old. Well, Pacquiao just fought 2 months ago at the age of 44. So what are you talking about? Oh yeah, but but Floyd, he picks the referee. Oh, Floyd, he fights in May because it's Mayweather, and he fights in the hotel he wants to fight in the MGM Grand in Vegas. All these excuses. But guess what? If he lost the fight, oh yeah, well, yeah, there you go, he lost. Some people just like to prey on your downfall. They couldn't stand the fact that there's a guy came from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who was literally his dad was in prison for 5 years, come from a really tough background, walking to the gym every morning in the snow, no car, no bus, no train, nothing, became the greatest fighter of his generation and became a billionaire. People just can't stand it because the people, they gave up on the dream, or they didn't, whatever. He done good, they spoke bad about him. And now they're talking about other negative things. Oh, he done bad. Regardless, that shouldn't be your focus. The focus should be, let's get you to the place where you are truly a champion in your mind. Because I know some of you, all of you have it in you to win. And if any of you on this call feel like you're not fulfilling your results, fulfilling where you should be, a lot of it is tied to people's opinions. It's tied to, it is your own personal limiting beliefs, but where the limiting beliefs come from? If we're an average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, it means that if you're spending time with 5 people who are speaking down on your goals or little underhanded comments, or they slyly, oh, don't do that trading thing, just focus on your job. And they see you making money, they don't celebrate you, right? I'm just saying. So focus on being around people who are going to lift you up. Like my friends, they lift me up. They give me that encouragement when I'm down. And that's one thing that you need, okay? Step 3, we're going to close. Is focus on one thing, lock in on one thing, and then diversify. Here's one thing that I've realized about people is they spend so much time trying to be a jack of all trades. You ask someone, what do you do for a living? Oh, I run a clothing business. And then I have a hair care line. And then I do nails. And then I do this. And I do this. And you have 80 different businesses. That's never going to pop. The way that you have to lock in is you focus on one thing for long enough. Now, of course, you're going to have different little small things that you do along the way. But you have, what is your one thing? Most people don't have that. They have a million different businesses. Because they think, if I set up an Instagram page and I set up a limited company, I've got a business. No, you don't. You have a business when you have employees. Okay? Until you have employees, you're not a business owner. You're self-employed. So the whole idea is, how can we go from a strong self-employed mindset to becoming a business owner where we have now a team of excited people who are on the same path as you? Look at all the biggest winners in the world. They have people behind them who are dedicated to for someone to commit their life's mission or part of their life to work with you and what you're doing. That's a powerful, powerful thing. That's an incredible thing. Okay? What is your vision? And I'll be talking about this next week because I've already got next week's call in my mind. Okay? I'm just writing down something right now. I just got an idea. Right? What is your vision? We're gonna be talking about the vision next week. What our vision is as wealth makers. What our goal is going to be, and we're gonna have this one mission that all of us are going to be speaking at one time. And every chat that we have with people is about the vision. It's about the vision. Okay, it's about what we're going to be doing as a collective. It's not a me. No, it's not a Derrick or Katrina thing. It's a us thing. It's us together, right? Collaborating, right? Not competing, but collaborating. The only person you're competing with is the person that you was yesterday, right? So the whole idea is to understand that we need to focus and lock in. If you're trading, right? All of you, or some of you are in different industries, but I know a lot of you on this call, you're trading. Lock in on that. Lock in. Master it. Okay? Really lock in on what you're doing. Stay focused on that for long. I promise you it will pay off. I look back at my journey and I'm like, you look up a few years later and you can see that it really paid off because we didn't give up. We kept on pushing. When things were hard, when we were rejected, we were laughed at, we were mocked. Every single second of it, we embraced it, we prayed, and we stood on business. And so I want to encourage you guys, whatever your one thing is, stop trying to do 80 different things. It just doesn't work because you have to have one thing. Lock in on one idea and give it everything you've got. And of course you have backup options. Of course you have other things on the side. Of course you have to like little things here and there, but have 85% focus on one thing. And find people, like we've got a community, we've got an inner circle. So we've got people who are in the vision and we're locked in together. And we have the Thursday meetings we're going to be doing. Every Thursday, the inner circle, we're going to be there. We're going to be in London. Every location, every week, we'll be in Mayfair this week. Next week, we'll be in Knightsbridge. Next week, we'll be in Chigwell. Next week, we'll be at Topgolf. Next, we'll do a meeting in Topgolf. Why not? This is not a corporate company. We can do what we want, right? We can literally do a presentation in Topgolf by the bar and then play golf after. Sign up 5 new business partners, right? Listen, the golf course for the fellas and the ladies too. We're gonna buy golf outfits. Summertime, we're pulling up to the golf course. You think it's like, I'm writing this down right now. I'm so fired up. I'm writing it down right now. We're gonna have a golf day, yeah? You think this is a joke? Listen, Wealth Makers is a community. No one's gonna be doing what we're doing. I'm gonna say it openly. Nobody is gonna. The way that we're gonna do what we're doing is gonna be it's gonna be like a group where things that we're gonna do is gonna be exclusive, right? Golf day. Everyone pulls up in their golf outfits. We all pull up in our supercars, park up outside. Yeah, get the golf bags. Everyone will be playing golf. Videographer, and there'll be a trading training on the golf course. Come on now. There'll be chairs by the grass. Put a 7 in the chat if you would want to be there in a golf day in the summertime, right? There'll be several retreats we're going to be doing. And the reason why I have this mindset is because we have a vision to be the best. We have a vision to be the best because we know what works and we know what doesn't work. And so the reason why we have this mentality now is because we have locked in for long enough to see what works. The reason why I have this clarity of mind and the reason why I have this definiteness of purpose is because I am humble enough to learn from anyone who's winning. There's people that I may not like everything about what they say and what they do, but if they're winning on a level that I'm inspired by, I'm not going to hate. I'm going to say, you know what? This person's winning. Okay, what can we add? And success is an adult game of follow the leader. It's literally monkey see, monkey do. Right? We're looking at what others are doing and we're taking stuff and we're implementing it. So the whole idea, guys, is to understand. Lock in on one thing long enough, okay? Really focus on, what is it that you want to lock in on? What is it that you want to be a master at? Now, obviously, trading is what most of you on this call are doing with us. So, of course, that should be the lock-in. And you've seen the testimonials. On tomorrow's call, we've got more testimonials, okay? And we're going to be building towards our event. And you're going to see, we're going to have some professionals. We're going to have people at that event who have been trading for decades who will be in that room. And you ask them, how did you win? What's the secret, Derrick? There's no secret. We just didn't quit. We locked in long enough because, you can, oh, well, Derrick, I've been doing this for this amount of time. Oh, I'm going to go do this. Why go and pivot to something totally different when you can just lock in with what you're doing now and keep going until you win? That's my mentality. Everyone's different. But, the game is the game. And I want you guys to really understand that this is really, really, really what it takes. What is your goal for this year? Okay? Write it down. Have the audacity to write down this goal and be completely focused on what needs to take place. Over the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to create so many millionaires We're going to create so many success stories, and there is so much clarity for what's about to happen. When you lock in long enough, when you're audacious enough, when you realize that your story doesn't define your future, you lock in and you have complete clarity. And I promise you right now, no matter what you're facing right now, some of you are going through the best period in your life. I can definitely say this period right now, this year will definitely be the best year of our lives, for sure. What we're putting together is something incredible. We have people who are locked into the vision. We have people who are behind us, and we are behind them. And this is not, this is not an individual type of situation. This is a team. My mentor, he has a set of videos on YouTube, and he literally has it's called Meet the Team series. He has a video on his personal trainer, how important it is to him. He has a video on his wife, and obviously the importance of his wife, obviously in his life as in business, and of course as a most important person in his life. He has a video about his security, because he has 24-hour security. When you're worth 100 million, you're not going to walk around and go Tesco by yourself. You're probably going to want to have someone with you just in case, because you're a brand name and you're worth, you are who you are. He has a 24-hour security surveillance team. He had a video on that. He has a video about his nutritionist. He has a video about his PA, his assistant, right? All these things, and this is what makes the man the man. It's not just the man makes the team, it's the team that makes the man. It's the team behind us. And as a community, we're building something special. And I'm very, very proud of all of you, what you all have done up until now. And we're about to turn up to a whole nother level. It's about to be a sensational year. There's been a lot of clarity. The first 90 days has been really, really, really strong. And we're about to get to the next level. We're about to really turn up to another stratosphere. This time last year, there's a whole different scenario we was in terms of just the direction. But a lot can change in 1 year. There's actually a training from Jim Rohn, another one of my YouTube mentors. I never had the chance to meet him, but Jim Rohn was one of the most prominent speakers. If you guys know who Tony Robbins is, he mentored Tony Robbins. So Jim Rohn had a training called Live Your Best Life. 1 year can change your life. So it was a training about 1 year, like how to get to your best life in 1 year. And a lot of the things that he spoke about in that training, I'm covering today as well, because in conjunction with my mentor and other great speakers that I've referenced. But this is your time. Please do not give up the fight. Keep pushing, keep believing. When you feel that clarity and you feel that flow, when you feel that flow, it might take a while to get there. It might take a few weeks, few months, few years to get to the point where you feel invincible. You feel like nothing can go wrong. Everything's working the way it needs to work. But when you get there, you will know. When you get to the point where you know that you're in the right place and you're fully aligned with where you need to be, things will start falling into place in a ridiculous speed. People think the past 7 days, people have been messaging me about certain things. There's just been a aligning of what needs to happen. Business opportunities. Hey, Derrick, I got this opportunity for you. This, that, invest in here, boom, boom. Just events, networking, just people that are just reaching out at the right time about the right things. And then I'm looking at, once I implement what's being said, I can see that it actually is aligning with where we need to be, because it's making me feel a type of way that is propelling us towards where we need to be. So God bless you guys. It's 11 o'clock. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a phenomenal rest of the day. We'll be in the group chats. Post your results in our trading chat. Let people know how much you're earning today. I wish you guys a tremendous trading day, and I'll see you at the beaches and most certainly at the banks. God bless. Let's make it happen.